Hello everyone, my name is Tom Zobel. I am an RMM admin here at ProVal Tech, and today I'm going to be showing you the best way to handle a couple of different scenarios where a customer might have computers that have special patching requirements outside of your standard policy that you're applying to your workstations and servers. So as always with patching, we're going to be in the desktop client, we're going to go to Automation and then Patch Manager. And once this loads up, just to recap some very basic things real quick. If you're not familiar with the way that Patch Manager works, I'm going to give you the very brief overview here as it pertains to this video. We've got lots of other videos on this channel that you should check out if you're not familiar with the fundamentals yet. But essentially, these are all the groups that apply different patch policies for Microsoft updates, third-party updates, and reboots, and approval policies. Machines can be members of any of these groups. If there are multiple groups that the machine is a member of that apply a policy, the lowest machine or the lowest group in this list that applies a policy is going to be the one that wins. So if a server is a server, a domain controller, and a virtual machine host and lands in all three of these groups here, whatever patch policy is applied by this group is going to be the one that effectively wins out on that machine. So very important to understand, and if you are ever curious and want to work backwards and see what is this machine effectively doing, you can come over to this devices page here and click on any machine in the system. Down here, come to groups. This will show you every group that the machine is a member of, and then the effective policy at the bottom. Yours is going to look different than mine. This is just our test environment. But if you're ever curious, you can see all the different groups the machine's a member of, and at the bottom, effective policy is going to show you what is actually happening on the machine. And then you have this local override system in here, which we're going to be talking about because it comes into play. Local override, you can always come in here and specify, and if you have anything specified in local override, it is going to override any other group membership-based settings that are applied to the machine. So, for giving machines a special patching setup different than your standard, there's a couple of different scenarios we should consider. The first one is if your customer calls you up, and let's say for the sake of argument, they've got a single machine that needs something special to happen. This is a one-off machine, a very unique thing that's interfacing with the CNC machine, and it only has one maintenance window a month that you are able to go through and patch it, which is different than your other patch policy. So in this case here, rather than going back to the configuration page and specifying a group just for this machine, adding it to the group, applying the policy via the group, we're going to use the local override instead. And that's what makes sense to do here because it doesn't make sense to clog up this group list for a group that is effectively going to hold just one machine and never change. So we are instead going to come in here to the machine, go to the groups, find the machine up in this upper list here, and just use the local override to set the patch policy that you want. So as long as you've gone in and defined a policy, I'm using Tom's example policy, you click Save, that applies it there. Same with the reboot policy and the approval policy. And that's the easiest way to do it if it's a one-off machine. Now, let's say you're onboarding a new customer, and let's say that they have a group of machines which are lab machines. And in talking with the customer, they bring up the fact that, yeah, sometimes we repurpose our lab machines to go other places. Sometimes we bring machines from other places into the lab based on our needs. In that case there, you would want to have a group in here for those lab machines. The big difference between those two scenarios being this is something where you're going to want to have an easy mechanism for your technicians to be able to enroll machines into the group or remove them from the group based on what the customer is doing. So all you have to do is make sure the customer keeps you in the loop with whether or not a machine has been moved into or out of the lab, and then you would come in here, define a new group. And if it's just workstation machines, you need to make sure they're lower in the list than this patch install workstations group that the other machines are a part of so that the lab specific policy wins out. And then all you need to do is have a way for machines to join that group where you can either have your technicians come in and manually populate it, or you can build a more robust system where there's a search that allows you to easily identify those lab machines and then will automatically pick them up and put them into the proper group. So those are the two different scenarios that I recommend using for enrolling machines into special patch policies based on the number of machines and how often you expect it to change. Thank you very much for watching. We post a new video every week to share our knowledge on ConnectWise Automate. Let us know what else you would like to see, or if you have any questions, please leave your response in the comments section below, and don't forget to subscribe.